So now I want to test the flow that we created. So I run the test flow. You see, it went to this green path. And yeah, the Bitcoin price is perfect. The price is this. That's it. Today we are going to talk about something that is getting a lot of attention recently, NN8. If you haven't heard about it, NN8 is a tool that helps you automate your tasks. And it's becoming really popular among developers and people who want to increase their productivity. It's a free and open source tool that you can use to connect different applications together and automate some of the boring tasks that you need to do daily or from time to time. And you don't need to know coding, whether you want to move data between your applications, I don't know, create some automated post for your Twitter and post it, or many other things. You can use this tool and it is really simple to use. N8N was created by Jan Oberhauser in 2019 in Berlin. It didn't become famous right away, but now it's becoming viral. So that's a great reminder. If you're working on something, don't give up easily. Success takes time. Another cool thing, you can run N8 on your own personal computer using Docker, or you can put it on a virtual server using Docker. In the end, it's really cool because you can self-host it. Now, let's jump into it. We are going to have a time scheduler that runs a task every 30 minutes. And then we fetch BTC price, right? And then put a condition here. Then we send the message to Telegram. If the price is good, the format would be different than when the price is bad. So first thing first, I said if you want to run it for free, you need to use the Docker version. What is Docker? Actually, you can look at Docker like a box that you have on your computer, and in that box you can run different applications separated from each other. So Docker provides everything that an application needs to run on your machine. So if you don't have Docker installed on your machine, it's pretty simple. You just need to know what is the OS that you are using. In my case, I'm using a Mac. So you just go in Google and say install Docker like Mac OS X, and then the first link which should be from the docker.com, you can use that. And that's it. I have already installed the Docker on my machine. So for the next step, we need to ensure we have the N8N Docker image on our machine. So what is Docker image? Actually, Docker image is like a frozen setup of an application, which we can use and create Docker container. And basically, Docker container is the running version of that Docker image. And in order to install the Docker image for N8N, just go to Google and Google Docker N8N image. And then go to the N8N.io. So here we have the Docker installation guide. As you can see, for the first step, we need to create a Docker volume. Basically, Docker volume is like giving to the Docker container or your running app some storage to store some data on your machine to ensure it will not lose it. So we do that. So in order to do that, you need to open the terminal on your machine. Just do Docker volume create. So it creates a volume which is basically in storage. Then the next step is this one. So for the next step, we need to run the Docker container. Let's look at the command and try to understand it a little bit more. So first, we are using Docker. It means we are going to run a command in Docker. Then we are saying run. It means run a container. Then we are having -et, which is saying interactive terminal. So basically when we put it there, after the container is running, we can see the logs from the application in the same terminal. So if we put it, when we run the N8N, we see the logs from N8N here. Then we have the name flag. So we are giving it the name as N8N. Then we have P. This one is very important. Actually, with this one, we can export the port from the container. What does it mean? It means if N8N in the Docker container is running on the port, so here is Docker, and here is N8N Docker container, and it's running on the port 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And when we do that, so we export the same port on our machine. So now the app on our machine is accessible through this port, which is really cool. Then we are giving to it the volume, and the volume that we created here, we are bringing it here. So we are saying, yeah, mount this path from the container, the data which is here inside this directory, into this volume from the Docker. Just one small thing that I forgot. When we put --rm, it means remove the Docker container when it stops. So if you want to have the Docker container running when you stop it, I mean, you want to be able to stop it and start it again, then please remove this flag. So when you run this command, Docker checks and it see you don't have N8N installed on your machine, so it will pull the image from the Docker Hub on your machine and then run a container from it. So let's do it. So now you can see the application is running on your machine. Then we need to open this address on our browser. Then you need to sign up here, right? And I will do that. Then here you need to put some information. Skip. No. So now N8N is running on our machine. So now we need to create a new flow. And to create a new flow, you need to click on this plus button here. And then you can click on the workflow. Then here we can add our first step. So for the first step, if you remember, we said we want a time scheduler. We want to say to N8N, we want a task to be run every X amount of minutes. So we search for time, and then we have scheduler trigger. So this is what we are looking for. Here we put minutes, like 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, and then that's it. We have our first step. Then for the next step, I mentioned we need to get the Bitcoin price, and we can use an API that is free. And what is API? Basically, API is application programming interface. So when you are creating an application, you can add some APIs, and using these APIs, other people can communicate with your application. So we can come here, and so we know that we are sending a HTTP request. So yeah, we have here HTTP request, and now we need to have the address for this API. So previously I found this API, and I'm sure whatever API you want, you can find it using ChatGPT, using Google. There are a lot of APIs for different coin, different things to do, and yeah, we can test it. And you can see, guys, it responded to us with this information, and here we have the Bitcoin price for the moment. So we are good to go. For the next step, we want to get the Bitcoin price, and based on its price, we want to react to it. Imagine we can say if the price is above 105,000, then it's perfect. And if the price is below 105,000, it's disappointing. So you can come here and search for if, then you can have a if, and let's see, yeah, it's connected. Yeah, you need to double click to open it. Then we can test, and if you click on test step, you can see, because it's a chain, you get the output of previous step. And what was the output of previous step? It was the current price for the Bitcoin. So you can get this price and drag and drop it here. And you can say if this price is greater than or equal to 105,000 USD, then it's good. If it's below, then it's bad. So if we test, now you see it's 108,000, so it's above, and we can see it went to the true branch. And if we say anything below 110,000 is not good, then you see it goes to the false branch. So let's for now stick to 105,000. And then we have two branches. First branch is true branch, false branch. So true is when the price is good, false is when the price is bad. Then we want to integrate our application with Telegram. So we can search for Telegram. And here you can see there are 24 actions you can do with Telegram, and doesn't need any coding. They did it already for you. So what we want to do, we want to send a message. So maybe we can write message here and send a text message. So that's what we are looking for. Then here we need to create a credentials. We need to put a credential here to give it access to our Telegram account. So, and also guys, I'm skipping the creating a Telegram account because I'm sure you'd know it already. So imagine you don't know how to obtain the access token. It is telling you here. If you go on this question mark icon, then you can see it's saying chat with a bot fodder. So once you are in bot fodder chat, you can select create a new bot here, and then it asks you give it a name. So let's give it a name. We can say BTC N8N tutorial, and let's see, good. Now choose a username for your bot. It must end with bot. So we could put like BTC N8N tutorial and just end it with bot. So you see, now it gave to us the access token. So you get this access token, then you bring it here. Please ensure you don't share this access token with others. I'm also going to change this access token afterwards. So yeah, now we gave the access to this bot. Then to send the message, we need to give it the chat ID. So what is the chat ID? It's saying go to this username and ask him for your chat ID. So you can see I just typed down the ID here. I mean, you can also use the search feature of Telegram, and then I can just send this message to get ID bot. Then he gives me my chat ID. And then here I just copy paste the chat ID here. And then I need to write a text. So this is the happy case. So we can say you can say BTC price is perfect, right? It is. But then how can we put the Bitcoin price here? So if you do the test step, you can see that you have the response from HTTP request here. Just drag and drop USD to here, and you can see it would be like the price is this. That's it. Then we can just duplicate this one and set up the bad case. So then the price is not good. The price is this. When I test the flow, I expect to receive a message at my Telegram. Let's see. So now I want to test the flow that we created. So I run the test flow. You see, it went to this green path. And yeah, the Bitcoin price is perfect. The price is this. That's it. And guys, these kind of tools are really cool and it can save a lot of time from us. But I believe we don't need to spend 10 hours watching a tutorial to learn them. Just take your case, use ChatGPT, and also here it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Imagine you want to do the same with Stack. You want to do the same with, I don't know, Rocket Chat. You want to do the same with, I don't know, WhatsApp. You want to do something with AWS, then you have all of them here. And you see for each of these tools, for AWS Lambda, you have some actions. You can invoke a function. So this tool is really powerful and please try to use it. If you like, please like and subscribe. Just one thing. For this video, I got the idea from Jadi, which has a channel that I link here below. Thanks to Jadi for the perfect videos that he creates. He created a video in Persian and I tried to create something similar in English.